What if my therapist is leaving their current job and going somewhere else, but they can't tell me where they're going? Is it weird if I look them up and follow them to their new practice? I'm a therapist, so let me tell you. If you're a therapy goer or newer to the field as a therapist in training, in school, if you don't already know, there are some therapy practices that have non-competes. Now, I don't know the current laws around this because I heard that they were, getting rid of non-competes. The last time that I was working for somebody else, non-competes were a thing. Non-compete clauses can be written in a lot of different ways, and essentially what it means is that if a therapist goes to an agency and they sign a contract, and in that contract there's a non-compete clause, it'll say something along the lines of like, if this therapist leaves the agency or the group practice, that they cannot tell their clients where they're going, or some non-compete clauses are as extreme as like, you can't even open your own practice within X amount of miles of this agency or this group practice, which is pretty fucked up if you're asking me, because as therapists, and I think a lot of agencies and group private practices specifically are run by therapists, we know that the most important part of the therapeutic process is the relationship between therapist and therapy goer. Most people don't go to an agency or a group practice because they love the agency or the group practice. They go for their therapist. But regardless of how fucked up it is something that has existed, at least in the past. Again, I don't know about now. A lot of times when therapists leave their jobs to go do something different or start their own practice, they are not allowed to tell their current clients where they are going. And so there is kind of some ways around this. For example, we still have to provide our clients with informed consent about their options. So a lot of like agencies or group practices will try to get you to funnel your clients to other therapists that work for that agency or group practice. And also, it is our ethical responsibility to let clients know that they have a choice in who they work with. So a lot of times as therapists, we might say something like, unfortunately, I can't tell you where I am going. However, you do have a choice in who you work with. So I can absolutely get you set up with somebody that currently works here, and we can talk about who would be a good fit for you. And also, we could do an online search together and, see if there's somebody in the area that you would be more comfortable or more open working with. At that point in the conversation, if the client doesn't already know that they could just look up their therapist's name and see where else they might be going to work, they will probably get the hint that like I can put, a request in to get set up with their new practice. So no, it is not weird at all to look for your therapist if they leave their current practice where they were working with you and they can't tell you where they're going. Most likely, they're hoping that you will do that. Now, that being said, it is important to note that depending on where the therapist is going, they might be shifting the way that they are working. So for example, if they worked for like an agency or a group practice where maybe they were more of a generalist therapist, they might be shifting into work where they are more niched and only working with clients within their niche.